Well, hello, I'm Martina, and welcome to SLM Sales, Leadership, and Management for Dummies. Anyways, this podcast is truly just to give you a little intro on who I am, some of the things I've accomplished over the years, or really not accomplished, but kind of what's gotten me here this far in order to feel comfortable talking to others about helping them with sales, leadership, and management. A little bit about me. I've personally been in the outside sales industry, management, and leadership, total of 30 years. I've started in the sales industry as a telemarketer. Remember when we had the telemarketers? That was me. Yes, I was that person that called. I dialed and dialed and dialed, sitting behind a desk for 8 hours a day. That's how I started in this industry. I was a single mom. I was a single mom most of my career, for over 20 years. But yeah, I started in the telemarketing room in a sweatshop, so to speak, and we dialed switching people's long distance carriers. The management there saw a need. We all made a salary. I think it was like $6 or $7 an hour. It wasn't much. And then all of a sudden the manager had a brainstorm and decided to take a select group of us and to see basically if they gave us an incentive, how much more would we produce. So they gave us like an extra $8 for every time we would flip a customer from one long distance carrier to the next. And lo and behold, when you started doing the math, that kind of doubled my income really, really fast. Management also learned a valuable lesson that when you incentivize people, that you'll figure out that they'll work a lot harder than they will just the average worker. Because one thing I have learned in sales, being in the industry for so long, is that the worst thing that can happen is we all work for the bank. We're all working the same amount of hours. Some of us work a lot harder than others. And then at the end of the week, we all get paid the same. So what's the incentive to even try to work harder or to be better? There isn't any, other than to get promoted eventually down the line if the manager above you happens to die. But anyways, a little bit about me and just kind of give you a little history. Kind of new at this, so it's kind of fun yet a little bit nerve-wracking at the same time. So I started in telemarketing. I developed a program with the management in order to get paid for additional leads by flipping long distance carriers. I got promoted into management. Then I became their national sales trainer to teach people how to dial for dollars. That's what I called it, was dialing for dollars, pretty much. Anyways, so I taught people how to do that, phone skills, etiquette, how to speak correctly to people, and how to listen. From there, I got a job offer to move to Texas to run a long-distance reseller so that I could teach my marketing room and to do that. About a year into that, I actually applied for a sales telemarketing manager for another company, which was a security industry. From there, I went into that. I was their glorified telemarketer. I was sales manager, telemarketer, and so forth. I had to fight to get into outside sales because a lot of people have that misconception, and this is where the lack of leadership and management comes in with a lot of companies. They couldn't see me being anything more than a telemarketer because I made them so much money being a telemarketer, right? I'm setting all the appointments for the salespeople, they're running them, and whether they sell them or not, I get paid the same. So here we are. But I was one of their top producers, and I noticed a lot of the salespeople weren't selling the leads or the appointments that I was setting. So I had a manager at that time that I went outside and I told him my dismay that they're not selling. Why can't they close what I'm setting? Because the customers seemed very amenable and wanting to talk to somebody about getting set up with services. And the managers told me point blank, no, I was too valuable at the position I was at, that they needed my appointments, and I wasn't going to get promoted or be able to be into outside sales. I was young, I was a single mom, 2 kids, and so I just put my butt on the line and told them, fine, I quit. I can't go into outside sales. I don't want to be a glorified telemarketer anymore, and so I quit. Anyways, 30 seconds later, he said, fine, Martina, effective immediately, you're outside sales. And that's where my journey began. So one of my advantages probably to being in outside sales is I've started literally from the ground up. I literally learned the marketing piece, how to make the phone calls, how to speak to people. Then I moved into outside sales. And a lot of times I see you get so many of these new salespeople, and the one thing that they can't do is they don't know how to talk on a phone, or they have mush mouth. They don't know who to ask for. It's like, why are you asking for anybody? Just start talking. They'll get the right person on the phone. And of course that's when you're talking to businesses, or even if you're calling somebody's house. It's too easy. But those are some of the basic things that we're going to go off into during this podcast. And while I feel like I'm helping others, like I said, I was a single mom raising kids. I like the flexibility of being an outside salesperson. I was able to, and I still, just so you guys know, I'm still in sales. Yes, I am. And I'm still really good at what I do. So what I like the best about it is the ability to be flexible as a single parent. Now, this would apply to anybody, of course, but my special realm was I was a single mom. Had kids in school, had kids in cheerleading, football practice, had places to be, busy bee. So I figured out a routine for me to where I was able to get to everywhere I needed to be and to schedule my appointments or my canvassing times around where I needed to be for my kids. So it allowed me to make full-time wages plus some, to be able to be a mom, to be able to be home at night and cook my kids dinner, as well as to make it to all the practices, everything that we had going. Because again, I was a busy beaver. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate, because it's not always easy. No, it's not. Yes, I am thirsty. One moment. So anyways, rolling forward after a few years in outside sales, winning many awards, accolades, going forward, I decided, let's cut out the middleman. What if I opened my own business? So I had a partner at the time. Everybody told me you can't do it. It's very difficult. I was in the security industry, and everybody said there's just no possible way you can pass the test for the state bar exam, because they ask you all these technical questions. There's questions on there, all the guys. And just so you guys know, this is a male-dominated industry. They told me several times, there's no way you'll pass the test the first time. So it's okay. Study for the test, take it. And then just whenever, you have a chance and you fail, you just go back and take it again. That's what I was told. That was the advice I was given by probably 4 different major leaders in this industry, to include business owners. Again, they set me up for failure. They told me it couldn't be done on the first try, but that's okay. Just that way I'll be comfortable when I take it the second time. So being nervous, I sat poolside for half a summer with my kids, letting them play in the pool, and I did nothing but read. And roll it forward a few months. I decided to go take the test, and it was $400. And like I told you, I was a single mom, so $400 was everything to me. That was truly a lot of money, really a lot of money. When you're a single mom and you're looking at 2 kids and you've got that $400, it's either crash or burn. I don't know, So I went down to the state. I took the exam. There was only one word I couldn't remember what the definition was, and it was so funny because I kept having a problem with just one word, and it was anyways, I can't even remember what the word is now. See, it's still just that same word. Anyways, and so right before I went in to take the test, I asked, reciprocate was the word, and it kept coming up in my book, that I was reading, and for some reason I couldn't grasp that definition of reciprocate. So right before I go in to take the exam, I look at a friend who had came with me, and I said, hey, use the word reciprocate for me in a sentence so that we could role play. Anyways, so we role played with the word reciprocate. Sure enough, when I was taking the test, there it was in a long sentence, Anyways, long story short, I passed the exam on the first try, where many before me told me it couldn't be done. They said, no, can't be done. Can't do that. So when I came back home and I told everybody I had passed the test on the first exam, in awe, they were like, how'd you pass the test? And I'm like, dude, seriously? All I had was $400. I didn't have the money to sit here and try again. I had $400. So in my head, I had one shot, and I made it work. So yes, roll forward. I was the first woman in the state of Texas to be the actual owner of a security company. Not by default, not by divorce, not by marriage, not by anything. I was the license holder. I was the woman. That's right. I did it all. Single mom. 2 kids. Studying by the pool. And made it happen. Yeah, so that was kind of a cool experience. But we're going to talk about some great things, some door canvassing techniques. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think I can really help out a lot of people. I notice that a lot of these sales managers, or what we call trainers in this industry, or in sales, they've never sold a damn thing themselves. They've only been dictators. Hey, get out there, go canvas, go hit this area, go hit this shopping strip. This is what you say. Yeah, that's what you say. But they don't tell you body language, how to read a room, any of that. They just tell you to go out there, they hand you some paperwork, they give you the badge, and they say, go to work. Well, we're going to get over those obstacles because that's not how it's done. That's called poor leadership. Matter of fact, that's just a dictator. That's not a damn trainer. That's just somebody who's just wanting to tell you how to do it. I could tell you how to make spaghetti, but I better know all the different techniques and how to make the sauces. Anybody can throw noodles in water, but the key is the sauce. And that's what I'm going to be here to help you do. Yeah, we're going to have fun. Also, just so you know, so I had my security company. I had it for 17 years. So I know customer service. I purchased the equipment. I hired and trained the sales team. I handled the books. I was collections. Small company. Again, single mom. Did it. Yeah. Never could train those dogs, though, how to get me some coffee. I always had to get my own coffee. Yep, took out the trash too. Did it all. Still while selling. Because again, sales, once you learn the niche, and if you really, really like people, it's something that you can do. There are a lot of people think that salespeople, they're just uneducated fools that, just like to talk. No. There's so much more to sales. It's not just talking. It's listening. It's being able to read a room. Anybody can play poker, but there's only a few people sitting at the poker tournaments. And that's where I'm going to hope to get you guys. And I just want you guys just to be the best. I know salespeople make, some of the best salespeople make more money than people with college degrees, high education, the little certificates they have in their hand. Everybody thinks they can sell. They cannot. Trust me, they cannot. Most sales companies, 70% of their salespeople are below average. It's always 30% or even smaller that are at the top of the page. So what is it that we're doing differently than the other people aren't doing? We got the same products, same teachers, but what's the difference? It's a lot of big differences. It only takes that much to make a huge difference when you're out there working in sales. The sales is something to be proud of. All companies count on us. They do. Without salespeople, they're not moving anything. Products just don't move off a shelf. Well, sure, eggs do if you need some eggs. But if there's someone else pushing a better egg, people might actually listen to them, and that may be the eggs that they're purchasing. So you just don't know. But anyway, so we're going to talk about that. So we're going to talk about sales techniques, some leadership, how to help others, things that you could see, follow your gut instinct. Sales isn't always the same script to different people in a different environment. It doesn't work that way. You don't talk to everybody the exact same way. Everybody requires a little bit of a different conversation, if that makes any sense to you. Some people are slamming booze back while you're talking because they're bartenders, or another person you may walk into is a busy laundromat, or hey, we walk into a pet grooming shop and dogs are barking, or you walk into one home and everybody's sitting there ready to listen to you, or you walk into another home that's just nasty as hell, but you got to overlook that and step over some shit in order to get to talk about why you're there, and assess the situation. But anyways, I hope this kind of gives you a little bit of an overview on who I am. I think that we'll have a lot of fun. We're not going to always talk just about the good things, because, we can talk about the poor leadership I've seen, poor leadership you've seen, poor management I've seen, poor management you've seen, because I think in a lot of these sales companies, they really fail with a lot of the management in the training process to help everybody out. But anyways, do me a favor, like my page, hit the subscribe button. I'm new to this, but I'm going to be jumping on several times a week with little short snippets, and just try to help out any way I possibly can. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to it. And the one thing I truly value of everything I've done in sales is because I really love people. I love teaching, and I really love to see the underdogs become the achievers, because truly I've always felt like I was the underdog and I had to fight my way to the top. But if I can do it, I know you can too. So anyways, I look forward to chatting with you guys again. Have a great day.